Welcome back. We here at CNBC TV 18 continue to track the results of these extremely crucial state assembly elections, also known as mini Lok Sabha elections. I want to bring in Ms. Sujata Paul. Ms. Paul, as you were speaking to my colleague Archana, you mentioned that how Congress has delivered when it came to welfare schemes in Rajasthan. One thing which I want to talk about is farmers. In 2018, when Congress party, when you guys were campaigning, whether it was Mr. Gandhi, Mr. Pilot, everybody, as in your party manifesto also, there was a promise that there will be 100% farm loan waiver, which clearly did not happen. I was traveling in the state. I spoke to a lot of farmers in different regions. And as it is reported, as we all know, those loans which were secured from the cooperative banks, only those were waived off, not the ones which were secured from National Privatized Bank. And a majority portion of loans of the farmers were actually secured from those banks only. Now, Congress did say that, the BJP government did not support us. But on field, the farmers, they don't really care about all those things. What they care about is how is it going to affect them. And for them, because they were under the impression that the Congress promised us, the government promised us, they're going to, the party is going to provide a full loan waiver. That didn't happen. And the interest, it kept piling on. So on that front, do you think that was a major reason you guys almost, doing in Rajasthan the way you are doing, because people are associating the same performance with other welfare schemes also?
I wouldn't agree with you completely on that, but yes, definitely that would have dented our prospects as well, because the public doesn't care about what is happening at the higher levels between the central government and the state government. That's for sure. And as far as loan waivers are concerned, there were loan waivers like you mentioned yourself. But yes, as far as all the loans are concerned, that we were working towards, and that would have taken place if we had come into power, and because that was a priority for us. And that is the reason why we had decided, and we made it a part of our manifesto as well, that we would be procuring crops at the MSP. And of course, loan waivers was an important point which we had put into our manifesto this time. But I think that more than that, the choice of the candidates is what we will have to look into, because all of you had also mentioned earlier that there were certain MLAs that people were not happy with. So no matter how much people want to vote for a particular party, if the candidate in front of you is not somebody that they would vote for, then of course we need to consider that also. And more importantly, I think polarization has also affected how people thought, because like I said earlier also, the vote margins have always been much lower in Rajasthan. In fact, this time it has become higher compared to the previous time, but I don't think it's going to really go up more than 3 to 4% maybe. So that does make one important thing come to the fore, and that is that more than any regional party or an independent candidate making a mark, though we have a lot of rebel candidates also in Rajasthan, I feel that elections are becoming more and more bipolar. And this you will see not just in Rajasthan, elsewhere also. So even though the farmer issue is important, they were made a promise, but I think this polarization also played an important part over there.
Right. That is interesting because you say that, but what we have been hearing from a lot of people, it is the local issues which play a very important role in the election. People think about their bread and butter issues, their day-to-day issues, how their lives are going to change. So that is one view which is also coming in. Let's go across to Charu Pragya at this point. Charu Pragya, I'd like to ask you about the kind of push that the BJP had given. Yes, there was strong leadership by Amit Shah, by Prime Minister Modi, by J.P. Nadda. A lot of high-profile ministers were going to different states. But you had also fielded some of your biggest faces. Many of the MPs, many of the ministers like Prahlad Singh Patel, Narendra Singh Tomar, they had been sent to fight the election. You had Phaggan Singh Kulaste also in Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, in Rajasthan, you've got strong faces campaigning, strong faces in the election fray. How are you going to manage these interests when you decide on the leadership for these states?
So we always field our best people and our best faces for every single election. Let's go back to the time of West Bengal elections. Even at that time, the discussion was similar. There were tall leaders who were sent from the center to contest in these elections. I believe the same thing has happened again. Now, we as a party, we do not believe in taking the responsibility of elections lightly at all. No matter how big the election, no matter how small the election, and we have done it one more time. This has not been anything that is out of the ordinary for BJP. See, we also have to see how a leader who's a tall leader, who's an influential leader, is able to influence not merely his own constituency, but a lot of constituencies around it. And that's proved to be true, whether you look at Madhya Pradesh or you look at Rajasthan. So every time a tall leader from the center is going to be campaigning, talking about local issues, raising ideas into the minds of the people, whether it is, the future of the state, or whether it is about the misgovernance if we don't have a government in that particular state, it makes a lot of impact. And this good communication, this two-way communication is extremely important for winning elections. Just now, Ms. Paul was saying that there was an issue of polarization and Congress delivered, but she seems to forget that in both the states where they had their government, Rajasthan was the highest number of rape cases against women, and also the highest amount of unemployment rate in the whole country was in Rajasthan. So I don't think this is about polarization or trying to be very, very superficial about deeper issues. You cannot make a promise and say 5 साल के लिए हमको और चुनो, उसके बाद हम कर्जे माफ करने के बारे में सोचेंगे. That's not how it happens, because in Uttar Pradesh also it was one of the planks for BJP, not right now, but in 2017, when we said that there was a lot of issues with sugarcane farmers, if you have a will and an intention of delivering to the people, you find a way to do it. Also, there is a difference between good governance. There's a lot of difference between trying to be a welfare state and wanting to give out freebies. And in Congress's case, they do not calculate what is the amount that lies in the government coffers before they make tall promises before elections, and then they go on to realize that there's no way anybody could fulfill them.
Right. Charu, please hold that thought. I'm going to also ask you about why yet another state, yet again in South India, has resisted BJP. But before that, let's go to my colleague Danish Anand, who's reporting from outside BJP headquarters in the national capital. Danish, 3 states most likely in BJP's kitty. Could you help us understand the mood? Because by now, the visuals are there. People know that BJP is celebrating and how. Please give us a mood check.
Well, yes, it is. You're right that BJP is leading in 3 states right now. And as far as the mood at the BJP headquarters is concerned, well, the praise has started to crowd up. Several union ministers are here. Piyush Goyal was here some time back, and he also told us that what really worked in the favor of BJP in all these 3 states. Besides that, Union Minister Jitendra Singh is also here, and Smriti Irani has also just walked in. As far as celebrations are concerned, well, the celebrations haven't begun yet at the BJP headquarters, but we can see that the celebrations are happening at different offices of BJP across the country. But talking about this place, well, it is expected that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also come here post 5 to 6 p.m. and he will talk to all the Karyakartas that have worked throughout the past few months, and that is why we are seeing that despite whatever result came out in the early numbers, the trends that were visible, but now things are completely turned in BJP's favor. So celebrations will begin soon. We can hear the Karyakartas. They're approaching. All the Karyakartas from Delhi have been mobilized, and they're expected to reach the BJP headquarters soon so that the celebrations can begin.
Happening. Danish, would be great if you can just pan your camera, show us what's happening at the BJP headquarters. Is there a lot of excitement, a lot of people who've come in?
Right. Yeah, there is excitement. The excitement and the crowd has started to build up. You can see that people are here at the main porch, and more people are expected to reach here soon. Everyone is waiting for Prime Minister to walk in, and that's when the real celebrations will begin. But as of now, what we know is the fact that more and more people will arrive at the BJP headquarters. We can see that more and more people, more and more Karyakartas will walk in. Then we will see the real celebrations beginning at the BJP headquarters.
Okay, we're taking a break now, Danish. Thank you for getting us that report. Of course, there will be the Prime Minister's visit, and we would be asking Charu Pragya more about that in terms of what could be the Prime Minister's message, the road ahead from here. And also, we will be returning to Sujata Paul of the Congress Party to understand what kind of introspection and what kind of work the Congress would be doing here onwards. We're taking a short break, right back on CNBC TV 18 with our colleagues and our election team.
Welcome back. We at CNBC TV 18 are here to bring you all the important updates of these extremely important state elections. I want to bring in Ms. Sujata Paul. Ms. Paul, my question to you is specific to Chhattisgarh. This was a state which Congress was more than sure of having in its kitty. When we were traveling to, when I was there in Chhattisgarh, Congress's chances were very high. In fact, when I interviewed Mr. Bhupesh Baghel, he said that "Ab ki baar 75 par." That was the slogan. What went wrong? And something went wrong clearly in the last days of the election, because whether it's the exit poll or your own internal surveys, you were not expecting this kind of a loss. What went wrong for Congress in Chhattisgarh?
That's a very good question, and I would just say that in all the three states, we've got to really go back to the drawing board and look at the people that we have selected, the candidates that we put forth, because on the one hand, you have, like Ms. Pragya was just talking about, how they bring in the very best. Forgetting that those same people might have to go back to contest the Lok Sabha elections, in which case people do tend to suffer. But like I said, for Rajasthan, people don't care about these things. They just see who is it in front of them. So it is possible that even though Mr. Bhupesh Baghel and his schemes really resonated with people, there were people who should have been replaced by other candidates. But all these things, success, has many fathers, and failures have none. So we will have to go back to the drawing board to see whether that also has played an important part. Because in the Bastar region, for example, where we always had a strong foothold, there if we have lost, the BJP, I was listening to the BJP on another channel, and they said, oh, because it was Ms. Murmu who has been made the honorable president, that is the reason. But I don't really think so. I also think that the candidates who were selected, it is possible that they've been there for some time, and you have another new face in the form of somebody who's not been in power or who's been brought in from the center. And that is a strategy which the BJP did use in Madhya Pradesh to its advantage. And let's just work that out before I make any comments on that. So I feel that could be one important thing, because the schemes is not something that did not resound with people. People appreciated it. Even the BJP, by getting points like the paddy price and other things, the price of cylinders, etc., into their manifestos across the states, has proved that our schemes were really working on the ground. So
Right.
the same applies for Chhattisgarh.
Right. All right. Let's also get in a word from the BJP spokesperson. Ms. Pragya, I want to ask you something. While, yes, there are many reasons for you to celebrate today, but do you think for BJP, this is yet another blow to its southern aspirations, given one state after another in South India has rejected the BJP?
So very humbly I want to say, and I'm very proud of the fact that ours is a party which listens to the people. What they will is paramount in this country, and we are never arrogant in victory, and we never take our losses lightly. Whatever was the reason for our loss in Telangana, let's remember that we have a 14% vote share there, and that was not the case 5 years ago. We've made great inroads into the hearts of the people. The number of seats we have are also going to increase, and 14% in a state where I guess there are issues of connecting, but whatever is the reason, we're going to make sure that we work harder, we connect better to the people, we understand what is it that they're looking for, where we are lacking, and we will fix that. And you know, while I'm speaking like this, it forces me to compare my statement to that of the Congress. Even after a loss, they talk as if everything is hunky-dory in their camp and I should be congratulating them and not the other way around. As for Telangana, like I said, I'm sure there is going to be a meeting very soon. We always have a meeting, especially after a loss. After a victory, of course, it's a lot of fun to celebrate. But after a loss, we very seriously analyze what is it that we could have done better, how is it that we can improve ourselves, and that's the way we do our politics.
Right. Archana, the BJP barely made a mark after the last election in Telangana. But now, if they manage to make some inroads, that will add to their Lok Sabha tally.
Yes.
That does give them some amount of edge in the Lok Sabha polls. So that may be a bit of a benefit going forward. But we've completely run out of time. Charu, Pragya, Sujata, Paul, thank you very much for joining us. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. We're leaving you with these election results. We'll be back at 6 p.m. this evening. Don't go anywhere.